My parents and my religion put me through hell by imposing the theology of hell upon me. Evangelicals and right-wingers like to say the Bible is clear. There's a lake of fire where sinners will go for eternity. Well, let me tell you, the Bible is anything but clear on that point. Hell in the New Testament is translated a whole bunch of different ways, like Hades or Gehenna or Tartarus or lake of fire. And none of those to the first century Jewish person or Jewish Christian meant the same thing or the same place. In fact, John 3:16 itself says the choice is between eternal life or perishing, not eternal life and going and burning for all of eternity. So why do we put people, and particularly children, through the trauma of, if you don't follow our list of rules, Jesus is going to come back any second and you're going to be thrown into the lake of fire forever? As a kid, it made me think, wow, Jesus is super cool, but God is a big-time, thin-skinned asshole. While we're taught all the cool stuff in life belongs to the devil. And I always wondered why God didn't have any cool stuff like rock and roll and movie theaters and dancing like the devil had. It's such a corrupt picture of the story of the Bible. There are studies that show that right-wingers and conservatives tend towards a need for authoritarianism. They want to know there's a right and wrong and an authority that will punish those people who don't agree with my determinations of right and wrong. So therefore, to a Christian, hell becomes a very important factor in our identity. If God's not going to punish those people for disagreeing with my beliefs, then how do I justify myself that I'm good? And so we tell our children silly, traumatic things like they're going to have to get 666 on their forehead or have their head chopped off, or Santa Claus is watching and he's not going to bring you presents if you don't behave correctly. And it creates a human trauma response that even for deconstructing Christians, there's still this nagging voice in the back of our head that says, is God going to throw me into hell for thinking? Because thinking goes against the community narrative of the evangelical church. But the Bible's not clear on hell, and ultimately even the book of Revelation says the nations will be able to come into the New Jerusalem because the gates will always be open. So that's the idea that God's love is going to win out in the end no matter what. So let's tell the theology of hell to go to hell and stop traumatizing people with it for our own self-righteous purposes.